Hey guys, it's Chrissy Senpai again today, and today is a little bit of a slower video. It's more of just like, hey, sit down, relax, watch a pretty quick drawing. This drawing actually only took like, I want to say like, I don't know, like less than 20 minutes to do, because I was just like doodling and ended up making it some Redbubble merch. But yeah, basically the video I'm gonna talk about today in the video is making your own Redbubble merch, and like what I do at least to get some sales. The easiest thing I find to, sorry if I keep like messing with audio, the easiest thing for me is to make stuff that I just like. I like dogs, I like animals, I like cute stuff, holiday stuff. I like West Virginia and representing that. And that's what I find at least makes sales easier for me, because even if it only takes, like this one only took like 20 minutes to do, because the video's not sped up at all, the video's in real time. But if it's something I really like, I do go back and edit the picture some more after this, but if it's something I really like, it is a struggle to do. I know some people spend like hours on designs and stuff, but I've never really been that person. My art's just always like, look the way it does. I don't like to spend hours on design, which is nothing wrong if that's what you do. I can imagine spending hours on like a leggings design or actual clothing design. These are just more like things you slap on a shirt, not something that covers the whole shirt, you know what I mean? That is one of my tips, is just don't draw stuff you think is popular, or, I mean, you can if you want, but don't draw stuff that's like stuff that you're not interested in. Like if you really hate pumpkin spice lattes and you draw a pumpkin spice latte, you're going to spend more time on it. It's not going to be as nice as like people who like it, you know what I mean? That's just like something that came off the top of my head. The first thing I could think of that people dislike a lot are pumpkin spice lattes, because I mean they do. But I find that to be the easiest thing to do. I also I always make two versions of the picture, because you never know what the picture's gonna look like on Redbubble unless you always draw on really large canvases. I usually draw according to Instagram's picture size, which is like 1080 by 1080. Pictures can be a bit too small for Redbubble. So what I do is I always make a version with nothing in the background, and I make it to where I can sit there and resize it. It's probably easier in applications like Photoshop, where it doesn't destroy the quality as bad, but I just, I only use Sai, so I work with what I got. That's another thing. Don't feel like you need to get like Photoshop and stuff. It's a great, program, but it's expensive. And if you're an artist who's not making much money, if you would be losing money by buying Photoshop, then I would just stick with any other program. I know Fire Alpaca is great. Then you have stuff like Procreate on the iPad, which I use sometimes. I can never record it. I don't know how to do that stuff. But yeah, don't feel like you need to use Photoshop to make stuff on Redbubble, because you can just use whatever program you got, and it's that simple. There's not much to talk about in this video. It's a nice slow drawing of a rainbow poodle, which are two of my favorite things, are rainbows and poodles. If you haven't seen my 3 dog story video, go watch that. It's one of my favorite videos I've ever made, because it talks about all my dogs, and one of those was a poodle. Make sure, don't repeatedly post the same thing. I know Redbubble can be a bit confusing, but if the image just doesn't fit, just don't post it to test it. Just close out the whole, refresh the whole page. It won't go against you in that, but I did have a friend who posted a bunch of things to Redbubble to test the designs. Don't actually post it until you get the finished product that you want, because they will bang you. That was a bit awkward for her. I remember when that happened, I was like, I can try to help, but I've never had this happen to me. Be very careful about fan art on Redbubble. I've noticed I keep getting ads on Facebook and stuff that you can do Steven Universe things if you're approved, I guess. Fan art on Redbubble is a very strange gray area. I know fan art itself is a gray area when you're selling it, but Redbubble seems perfectly fine with certain people selling it, and certain people not. I'm not sure exactly where their line is drawn, but it seems to be drawn very weirdly, like a zigzag. Just post your own original art. Like, I know it sucks to only have to be able to post original art when some people get away with actually stealing art on there all the time. Redbubble has a huge issue with stolen art, and you can tell just by Googling, or not Googling, just using the search engine for anything popular, and you will see a bunch of the same, like, stolen artwork in pretty much any tag. Which is lame. When somebody makes original fan art, it's a problem, but you can use, like, PNG files that you stole that are crappy looking, you know? But yeah, those are, like, I guess, basic tips for Redbubble. This isn't like a professional video. Also, here's another tip. Don't buy red shirts from Redbubble if it has a white background. As someone who used to make t-shirts, which I used to, you need an underlayer on red t-shirts, which they don't use an underlayer on red t-shirts. Red t-shirts and black t-shirts, more so red than black, are incredibly hard to print on or using ink on, which I'm pretty sure they do use ink of some sort just by the texture. Again, I'm not a professional, but I know what goes into t-shirt making. And if you buy a red shirt, there's almost 100% chance it's going to look like crap. Because I did buy a red shirt with my dog on it so I could wear it to work, the Bichon, which I will leave the link below to the kawaii Bichon. But it looks a little bad. I was kind of sad when I got it, but I knew that I could tell that they probably never use underlayers. So I just kept it because I didn't want to deal with, like, having to pay to ship it back and get one that's just the same quality, you know? But you never buy, like, a red shirt from Redbubble, because it's gonna look like garbage. I'm trying to think of positives to talk about Redbubble. I'm not trying to, like, diss them or anything. Oh, a positive about Redbubble is you can keep track of everything pretty easy. Make sure you link your account before you start anything, because this is just from friends' experiences. Redbubble tends to have a problem if you try to link it after you make sales. Link it before you make sales, whatever account that you're using, like your bank or PayPal or whatever, because mine goes through PayPal. Link it before you make sales. Sorry about my rambly Redbubble tips. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I just talk the way I talk and relay information the way I know how to relay it. But those are just my, like, small tips for making stuff for Redbubble. Make stuff that you really want and really like, because people who like the same things will follow you eventually, even though it may take a while sometimes. And, you know, don't order red shirts. Don't post fan art. Be very wary of that. Even though it sucks that other people do, you just gotta deal with stuff sometimes. But I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed the background music. The background music is by an artist called Delete the Cube from the album Soap, which I found just randomly going through royalty-free Reddit stuff. And also, I hope you enjoy the other background music. It's probably my friend Nate's music, because I have been playing his music in the background a lot of my videos, or a lot in the background of my, a lot in the background of my videos as well. Let me know, what you think of his music so I can relay it to him. I hope you guys have a good day and have fun drawing. Hey guys, it's Chrissy Senpai once again. Just letting you know commissions are open. I'll make videos of your commissions if you want. I like to change this ending up every now and again. But yeah, commissions are open. I also have all these great social medias you can check out. I update most of them regularly enough.